This is the transition opening the trailer up. It's completely surrounded in glass, so the views are fantastic, and it's unlike any other trailer out there. It opens up to full height, so it could handle somebody up to 7 foot tall or even taller. Could stand up in here. Takes about 1.5 minutes to fully extend, and it's all automatic. Just hold the button and up it goes. And there we go. Now in this model, the 2011 model, they had the rear bed was electric. Put the bed up. This goes up like that. There we go. So it's very little manual fiddling to make that all work. Yeah, so that's in the upper position, and to turn it into a bed, these cushions just slide into the space there, and basically you have pretty close to a king size bed. It comes with these back supports, which actually work very good. Cushions go like that, like this, and quite ergonomic, quite comfortable to sit here. So if you swing around to the front there, the table is where it normally sits here for traveling. It can easily be removed, slides back and forth. If you slide it all the way the one direction, it pops out like this, and it can be moved right back and used in this position, just like so. Or it could be taken outside as well, which we've done that a number of times. And when you're driving, back into that position, slides over. There you go. Then this turns into the front bottom bunk. Table just pops off. Light pops out. Drops into there. These cushions come over. And that's your bottom bunk. Like so. This model has the upper bunk, which just snaps come off. And it's got a little bar there. And that's the upper bunk. It actually is quite comfortable, even an adult. I slept up here myself a number of times. It's quite surprising how much room there is. Traveling just snaps up like this. And then for the front, these can be flipped up if you're using this as to eat up in this area. Pop this back up again. Pipe on. These are little extenders, and that turns into a seating area. She works quite well. So this particular model, we chose storage under here. It has a storage unit. Right now we've got 3 lawn chairs, there's a camp stove, and there's also the awning folds up under there. We keep propane for the barbecue, so forth. Quite a bit of room under that. Lots of storage. Like so. On the opposite side, you access it from outside or inside. It's got a curtain here for storage there. That's where we keep the hose, and there's a bin there with all the stuff for blocking and setting it up. And there's a picture showing the contents in there from the outside. It's got an inverter in there. It has a 2500 watt inverter to create power. It's one of the changes, modifications that I've done to this trailer. It makes it different from the way it comes to from the factory. One is the inverter setup. So on the way it comes from the factory, there's only one plug that you could use off the inverter. I actually changed it. I put a relay on it, so when you do turn on the inverter, all the outlets are powered up off the inverter. Some of the other features, let's see, fridge, two-way fridge, fully automatic, works excellent. You just choose auto, and if there's no electricity, if you're not plugged in, it runs off propane. And normally we run it off propane almost all the time. Two-burner stove, works great. Sink, flips up, good high-end Italian-built stuff. We chose to go with storage up here, which has some storage in it, which we found a lot more useful than a microwave. And then there's storage in here. It's kind of like a spice rack. We added mirrors onto there, which makes it kind of nice. See in there, this cabinet's pretty large. It's got 3 drawers that come out to hold dishes. Wrap right around the drainage. Room for silverware. And down below, we've got a garbage can that's right in there. That works really well. And that latches up. Underneath here is the pump and the hot water heater. See there, we went with the electric hot water heater. So only hot water when you're plugged in, but at least you're not dealing with the propane issues. Pump is just standard pump. We've never had any issues at all with that. We've never used antifreeze in the water system. I've always blown out the water, so no problem drinking the water right out of the tank, which is nice. See over on this side, this has the furnace, forced air furnace in there. Lots of extra storage underneath. We have a set of bins that fits really nicely in there. Gives you a total of, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we had 8 bins that fit underneath that. It's also storage at the back. We added these magazine racks, which is excellent for books and computers, that sort of thing. I also did a lot with the wiring as well with the low voltage. So, for example, there's a lot more accessory plugs. I put one in here, got one over here on this side too. Down here, this one powers a little reading light. This reading light here, which plugs in there and can be used up front, and it's all low voltage. Little shelves I added to put your phones on, plug them in to charge. We have little charging adapters that clip in there for USB. It makes a huge difference. I also added a power bar in here, which is also on the inverter, so you could plug additional things into there if you wanted. We actually found that it's not really necessary to plug in with those solar panels and the propane and the inverter if you need it, but with everything basically running on low voltage, we've gone 5 days, 7 days. We can do about 5 days with the water, and as long as you got a bit of sun during the day, we've never had any issue with running out of power. So that's only just with one battery. So some of the other things we changed on here. This is different from the factory. The factory one had a little post that came out here that you'd rack your head on. We switched it to one of these modified IKEA racks for holding towels, which works excellent. Fit all the towels in there. One of the biggest changes I made is this shelf, which flips up and turns into a TV. The TV built into it. And the TV is a 12 volt TV, so it will run again just off the battery. Don't have to use the inverter. It has a USB input in here if you want to put a stick of movies in there, or it also has HDMI, which there's a cable hanging down here. HDMI cable that can be pulled out and plugged into a laptop or something, or anything to feed it. And that works great. It's on a little cylinder, so when you go to move, you just drop this down. These little snaps snap in place underneath here. It keeps it from popping up. And that's how it travels. And a lot of times we'll leave it down because it gives us an extra surface for when you're doing dishes or whatever. You can set them over on the top of that. Other than that, it's standard toilet and everything. It all works excellent. No issues. Yeah, what else has got the fantastic fan, which we didn't go with the heat pump air conditioner, which we have no regrets over that. We've always found that we get plenty of air with this fan. It's the fully automatic one. We got it with all the accessories. So it goes up automatically. It's got the thermostat control. It has a rain sensor built into it, and it works very good. So it turns on by itself on the thermostat. And a lot of times we'll leave it on overnight. And being 12 volts, it's not a problem. And if it starts to rain, it just closes and turns off by itself. Just flip it around the other way. Yeah, so it's got that. All low voltage lights. What else can I tell you? If I had to guess, I would say it's been back and forth across Canada a couple of times. Probably it would have somewhere around 25,000 kilometers on it. And by the looks of the tires, that's probably about right. Still the original tires, but plenty of tread left on them. We upgraded the wheels to the larger wheels. We upgraded the rims to the aluminum rims, and we also upgraded the spare to the aluminum spare to cut the weight down. I've never had to use the spare. So that makes it a bit lighter, makes it look a little bit better. These things are extremely light. If you haven't already looked at the specs, it's quite amazing. They're like 1,700 pounds empty. We've towed it mostly with a hybrid, a Toyota Highlander hybrid, and it's never been any issue. We've been across the mountains to the west coast, and it's been fine. So you can tow it with a large V6. Yeah, I think that's probably about covers it. So if you want any more information, feel free to get in touch, and we'll tell you what we can.